Apple's MacBook Air lineup just got a fresh update with the M4 MacBook Air, and if you're rocking an M3 MacBook Air from last year, you're probably wondering, is it time to upgrade? Today we're diving deep into the MacBook Air M4 versus the MacBook Air M3, breaking down the differences, the upgrades, and whether it's worth your hard-earned cash to make the switch. Spoiler alert, there's more to this than just a new chip. Stick around because by the end of this you'll know exactly what's right for you. Let's get started. First up, design. If you're hoping for a radical makeover, sorry to disappoint. The M4 MacBook Air keeps the same modern, flat-edged look introduced with the M2 in 2022. You've still got that notch at the top of the Liquid Retina display, and the screen specs are unchanged. 2560 by 1664 resolution on the 13-inch and 2880 by 1864 on the 15-inch, both hitting 500 nits of brightness. No upgrades there, but honestly these displays are still gorgeous for everyday use. What is new is a color option. Say hello to Sky Blue, a vibrant, fresh addition that replaces the M3's Space Gray. You've still got Midnight, Starlight, and Silver to choose from, but Sky Blue? That's a vibe. If you're someone who loves a pop of personality in your tech, this might be a small nudge toward the M4. Oh, and one display-related upgrade. The M4 can now drive two external 6K monitors with the lid open, meaning you can use 3 screens total. The M3 could handle 2 external displays too, but only with the lid closed. So if you're a multi-monitor power user, the M4's got an edge. Now let's talk about the star of the show, the M4 chip. This is where things get interesting. The M4 rocks a 10-core CPU, 4 performance cores and 6 efficiency cores, compared to the M3's 8-core CPU, which split evenly with 4 performance and 4 efficiency cores. That extra pair of efficiency cores in the M4 means better power sipping for everyday tasks like browsing, streaming, or working in docks. Apple claims the M4 is about 25% faster in single-core tasks and 30% faster in multi-core tasks compared to the M3. The GPU stays at up to 10 cores on both, but the M4 is built on a second-generation 3nm process, making it a bit more efficient and slightly boosting graphics performance. Think a 15% uplift in benchmarks. The neural engine also gets a bump. The M4's 16-core NPU can handle 38 trillion operations per second, doubling the M3's 18 trillion. That's a big deal for Apple Intelligence features, like AI-powered writing tools or photo editing, which are only getting more prominent in macOS. Real-world difference? If you're just emailing, streaming, or doing light creative work, you might not notice much. But for heavier multitasking, video editing, or future-proofing for AI, the M4 pulls ahead. Memory is another big win for the M4. It starts at 16GB of unified RAM standard, double the M3's original 8GB base, though Apple did bump the M3 to 16GB mid-cycle in late 2024. Even better, the M4 can now go up to 32GB of RAM, compared to the M3's max of 24GB. Memory bandwidth also jumps from 100GB/s on the M3 to 120GB per second on the M4, which helps with memory-hungry apps like 3D rendering or virtual machines. Storage options remain the same, 256GB SSD to start up to 2TB, but that base 16GB RAM at a lower price makes the M4 a better value out of the gate. If you're a power user who needs more than 24GB, the M4 is your only Air option. Let's move to the camera, a surprisingly big upgrade. The M4 MacBook Air swaps out the M3's 1080p FaceTime HD camera for a 12-megapixel center stage camera. This is the same tech we've seen in higher-end Macs, and it's a game-changer for video calls. It's sharper, and with center stage it digitally pans and zooms to keep you in frame as you move. Plus, there's Desk View, which shows your face and workspace at the same time, great for tutorials or meetings. The M3's camera was fine, but it didn't have these bells and whistles. Audio? No change here. Both have a 4-speaker system with spatial audio and a 3-mic array with voice isolation. Solid stuff, but nothing new on the M4. Battery life is a bit of a toss-up. Apple claims up to 18 hours for both the M3 and M4 Airs, despite a slightly larger battery in the M4's 13-inch model. In practice, the M4's efficiency gains might stretch that a little further, but don't expect a night and day difference. Connectivity-wise, both have two Thunderbolt ports, now Thunderbolt 4 on the M4, up from Thunderbolt 3 on the M3, plus MagSafe charging and a headphone jack. Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3 are standard on both. Price is where the M4 really shines. At $999 for the 13-inch and $1,199 for the 15-inch, it's $100 cheaper than the M3's launch price, and that's with 16GB RAM standard. The M3 did drop to 16GB later, but you'd still be paying more for it at launch. Add in education discounts and the M4 could dip even lower, think $899 for students. If you're buying new today, the M4 gives you more bang for your buck. But here's the kicker. M3 models are still floating around at discounted rates, like $899 on sale, so if you snag a deal, the value proposition shifts. So should you upgrade? Let's break it down. If you have an M3 MacBook Air, honestly probably not. The M4's upgrades, faster chip, better camera and triple display support, are nice but they're incremental. Unless you're maxing out your M3's 24GB of RAM, need the 32GB option, or live on video calls and crave center stage, your M3 is still a beast for 2025. It's best to hold off for now. However, if you're on an M2 or older MacBook like M1 or Intel, the M4 is a no-brainer. You're getting a modern design, way more power, better battery life and future-proofing for Apple Intelligence, all at a killer price. If you're buying your first MacBook, go with the M4. It's the latest, greatest and cheapest Air in years, so why settle for last gen when the new one's this good? One last tip. If you're tempted by the M3 for a discount, make sure it's the 16GB version. The 8GB M3s are out there, but they're not worth it in 2025. And that's pretty much it. Catch you guys on our next video.